Working the night shift alone tonight. There's a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. The grinning face stared at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 14th floor. The last man on earth sat alone in a room. There was a knock at the door. I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. I was starving and lost in the woods until I found a hiker. I'm full now, but I just wish she hadn't screamed so loud. I found a dead body in my trunk today, which is strange because I remember putting 2 in there yesterday. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. I got a haunted doll in the mail today. If only I could find where she ran off to. I opened my front door to the frantic pounding of my next door neighbor. To my horror, it was something that was wearing his skin. My grandmother told me it was a gift to see the angel of death in front of people's houses, to know he would be collecting someone there soon. I thought it was a gift too, until the day I began to see it in front of everyone's house. Last night, I had a nightmare that I lost both my legs in a gruesome car accident. Then I realized it was only a memory. I think I'm dead, but the other spirits keep telling me I'm alive. I didn't mind it when the rain fell, until it hit my skin and burned. I didn't panic when my best friend started shuddering from head to toe, clutching his stomach and coughing out blood. I panicked when the blood started crawling up my leg. There was a knock on my door. Something inside told me not to open the closet. The voices won't stop bothering me to let them free. Maybe it's time to go into the basement and shut them up once and for all. I've always loved having the power to bring the dead back to life. I especially love standing over their graves and listening to them try to get out. My son cried when I killed both of his dogs today. I didn't tell him why, but last night, while he slept, I overheard the dogs talking to each other. It's been watching me for hours now. Sometimes I catch glimpses of it in the reflection of the computer screen, but I dare not turn around. I woke up to hear scratching on glass. I thought it was the window until I heard it come from inside the mirror. She complains as soon as she saw me that I kept kicking her in my sleep. I just got home. I awoke as my kid moved down the hallway, on all fours, creepily stumbling towards me at 3 in the morning. I shouted for her to stop, rolled over in bed and froze, and I found my only daughter already sleeping beside me. He told me the procedure only had 50% chance of survival. The last thing I heard before going under was him flipping a coin. I moved in with a cute girl from my college about 2 months ago. I'll be in real trouble if she ever finds out I'm here. Came home from work and sat in my home alone. Just then I heard a knock at the door, but I heard somebody else say come in. The doorbell rang, so I opened the door. I was surprised to see nobody standing there, but just then, I felt something pass through me. When I was driving home, I accidentally hit someone, but I decided to continue on my way. As I pulled into the driveway, I saw the person standing by headlights, waiting for me. It was the sound of the first scoop of dirt hitting the lid of the coffin that woke me. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sense of scratching at my door when I slept. Now that I live alone, it is much more unsettling. After so many years and I'm alone in this large house, I came to a startling revelation. And this time, I closed far more doors than I opened. They celebrated the first successful cryogenic freezing. He had no way letting them know he was still conscious. I took my ex-girlfriend bowling after the breakup to clear our heads. Thanks to her, I got a strike on my first roll, but the game ended there once her head got lodged and the ball returned. Can't sleep, she whispered, crawling to the bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. You start to drift off into a comfortable sleep when you hear your name being whispered. You live alone. The heart transplant's only 2 days from now. I just wish I was on the receiving end. They say you only have a 10% chance of surviving a fall over 7 stories. So as I lay in this valley, sun roasting me alive, the vultures are already picking at the tendons in my shattered legs. I wonder how I could be so lucky. I thought the scariest sound I would ever hear would be my doorknob rattling violently in the middle of the night. I was wrong. It was the jingle of my lost keys. I smiled, watching my wife and son play on our bed. I still can't believe it's been 3 years since I lost them. They delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room, I began to hear popping. There's nothing like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone. Put back the mirrors, we miss watching you. The funeral attendees never came out of the catacombs, something like the crypt door from inside. Being one of the first people on the moon has its perks. Being the only one to be forgotten doesn't. I've been talking to my mother for hours, but I don't think she can hear me through 6 feet of dirt. My sister says that mother killed her. Mother says I don't have a sister. I went camping with my 3 best friends, but by the time we left, we were nothing but a murderer, a witness, and a dead body. She asked me why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. Mr. Weatherby, all of your tests come back negative and my examination shows nothing abnormal. Adam knew what was coming next. I'm not crazy, doctor. I'm sorry, but there is no physical reason for why you occasionally lose control of your hands. A psychologist can help. I don't need therapy, I need answers. They seem to have a life of their own. I can't find a job. I'm under investigation for assault. I almost killed my neighbor. This can't go on. I'll try anything at this point. After 2 weeks on a new medication, Adam saw no progress and grew increasingly depressed. He was convinced that despite what the doctor said, it was not a psychological problem. That night, a frustrated and angry Adam sat in a chair and drank bourbon. Drunk and hopeless, he stumbled to the garage and started the table saw. Then slowly lowered his wrists toward the screaming blade. Detective Armstrong entered the garage where several uniformed officers stood over the blood-soaked body. So what do we got? He asked, taking in the blood-splattered scene. This is a weird one, Detective. How so? Take a look at the body. Apparently he chopped off his hands with a table saw and bled to death. Armstrong knelt down and... we can't find his hands anywhere.